I think what I'm going to talk about is agreements. It's weird because we all think agreements, contracts, whether it's divorce. Maybe I want to talk about divorce. I don't know. But I always thought that I would be one of those people who, once I got married, that was it. That was my contract. That was a person. It was love. Till death do us part. Yada, yada, yada. It was 10 toes down. And I was going to make it work. It wasn't going to be the torture of what my parents' marriage was. Anyway, we'll get into the real deal about my parents. But back to what I was saying. I think what it is we don't really understand what it means to have a contract. And I didn't really understand it fully, but I knew that it's a commitment. And there's contracts that we have that aren't written on paper. We have contracts that are in the ethers. Something that we have when we come here. We have contracts that we just have between people, like our family. If you're hurting, my obligation is to help you. That's like my contract, you know. If I'm hurting, same thing. So, I don't know. I'm just thinking about contracts, what that means, and why we have them, and why do people hold them so dear. Because I realized that contract that I had as far as marriage, and the contract that I believed that I had in the ethers, which I realize now that I did, and I'm free from, that death till death do us part, that nonsense. I'm just kidding. But, you know, that whole thing. I realized, you know, I was willing to accept whatever happened as long as I was married. I realized I was willing to do the ride or die and just do all that because of that contract, to the point where I believe and I know now that God was like, baby, I gave you a contract. You did it, baby. But this is torture, baby. Even for you, this is torture. You can't love nobody more than that. That man don't stepped on your heart. That man took your heart, threw it in the trash, took it out the trash, put it in the microwave, served it for dinner to your brother, your sister, everybody else, your neighbors, people that hate you. He don't work with them, sat down, broke bread with them, had sex with them, everything. Babies by them. And you still looking like, I thought I had a contract with you. I thought it meant something. And as I spend this Sunday night sleeping in my car, my children are at the movies with their father, because I moved out of my house because the woman he got pregnant across the street from us decided that I was no longer allowed to live anymore and that I needed to be out the way because he had a contract with her that he needed to keep that was more important than a contract he had with me. So, hey, contracts, right? I'm sorry I look a little tired. It's late. I've been sleeping in my car for a few days. And the kids have been going back and forth staying with him because we didn't have enough money for a hotel room. But she gets to live in her house. across the street from where I used to live, stare out our window. He's not allowed to help us because the contract he has with her means that if he admits it, it means that me going to jail, being set up by her, and everything else he did, it comes out. Because she made sure she had a clause in that contract that I'm going to win no matter what. I'll destroy your wife and children because my contract means more. And what I want is written in the clause and it's written in blood. And I look at him now and I say, the truth of the matter is, God freed me from that contract. And that is a contract I am so happy. I am so happy to. I'm so happy to violate that contract. Because I'm alive. And my kids are alive. And I'm not locked in a jail cell. Because they wanted to take my life. To get rid of me. And I honored that contract. Even when he didn't ask me to. But, like I said, contracts. I think sometimes we need to recognize the contract we have with God is better. Because when I stood before him and I said I took this man to death do us part, God knew my heart. The Most High knew my heart. He knew I meant it. He saw my work. He saw my heart. And he heard my cry. Especially being a black woman. Because they treat us as though we're not supposed to have the American dream. We're not supposed to have that. We're supposed to be single families. And I wanted so badly to have a beautiful black family. Like the Huxtables. But I thank God for this new contract. The new one is going to be a doozy.